guys, welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Talking Manna with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
I'm Scott, and I do everything as far as recording and writing goes.
Awesome. So, my first question, Scott, I ask this to every band. How did you start out the project? I feel like in my terms, like it's more of a solo project. So, like, who inspired you to start doing music? Like, why take it as more of a solo endeavor versus maybe a band avenue? And how did the whole process begin? Essentially.
Sure. Well, I was playing drums for a few different bands over the years, and then I just started playing guitar a little bit. And I still don't even really know how to play guitar, but I picked up an acoustic and just kind of pumped out these songs. And ever since that, I have a hard time remembering anything that happened after that. But I know I got some songs, and yeah.
That's awesome. And so obviously you're a drummer first, and I would consider, most of your music to be more drum forward. So like, what made you kind of want to pick up the guitar? Because I feel like, if you're playing the drums, you're like that. Most times I see it's like high energy, you're having a good time, you're like really into it. And guitar, you could do the same thing as well, but like, what gravitated you towards picking up a guitar and like kind of doing that again, that sort of solo artist approach to what you're doing? Okay. Did he freeze? Oh no.
Okay, I see you again. Sorry, that distracted me. Can
That's
you
all
throw
good.
that?
Yeah, I'll redo it. So anyway, so you picked up the guitar. Like, what were some of the thought process behind that, and like, why did you pick up the guitar? Obviously you're a drummer forward person, so like, what was the like thought process behind that essentially, and like what went into you being like, okay, I want to do that, and then just kind of have that be like a solo project that's like, kind of growing and like manifesting itself.
Yeah, I guess I kind of felt like I never had a voice or something. Maybe I didn't get enough like attention as a kid or something. But I like had some things to say, I think, is really what happened.
That's
I was like leaving the church a little bit, and at that time, and I was kind of just documenting everything that I was going through.
That's cool. I think from like, again, when you reached out to me initially, shout outs to Body Thief. But when you originally reached out to me, I was like, I was interested by the whole fact of you doing it kind of like, again, like a solo project, but also still having that sort of element of like having people play for you live and like kind of like getting that sort of critique in that sense. And so, I feel like it gives me a little bit more light on the situation. That's why I always love asking this question, because for me, it's like, it's always cool to get a background to like the thought process and like just how people kind of create the art that they do create. I think that's really awesome, and I'm glad it's an outlet for you to be able to do what you like, and like, hopefully it's a vindicating experience.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, my next question, Scott, obviously I have to ask this because I feel like it's a necessary thing. What are some favorite venues in your area that you like to go catch a show at in your free time?
I like the Auto Bar in Baltimore, Sonar before they shut it down, Wrecker Theater before they shut it down, and Ram's Head. Yeah, those are pretty much the main venues. I think.
I always ask that because, like, we're not too far away. Baltimore is like within driving distance for me, but
You're
I
in.
I live in New Jersey, so it's not too far away. I usually like, every once in a while I'll like go down there to like catch a like baseball game or whatever every once in a while. But it's cool to. I'd love to go see a show. I've heard of the Auto Bar. I've heard of some like bigger stages in Baltimore. So I always like, if I would decide to take a day trip down to Baltimore to see a show, I'll have to keep your recommendations in mind.
Yeah.
But my next question, Scott, kind of relates to the venues. What was like the last show that you attended that you can think of?
The last show that I attended was Circa Survive.
Oh, nice. Okay, was that who was that with? Was that with Thrice?
That was with La Dispute
Oh,
and
tight. Okay,
somebody else.
nice. Because I had seen them with Thrice the last time, and I think it was like Thrice, Sean, and I think it was like Balance and Composure before they broke up. So
Yeah,
I that's the
they broke up.
that was the last time that I can remember seeing Circa. I hope to see them again. I know they got announced for um, the 25th anniversary of Warped Tour, so that's gonna be
Yeah,
cool. But my next question, kind of like weaving into the deeper questions. What are some of your musical influences? Who do you draw from?
Circa Survive, and yeah, basically everything started. I was gonna do like a dance cap and dance type thing and scream,
Okay, cool,
but
interesting.
then I found peace in my life, and so I.
Hey, listen, you could scream about stuff that, I mean, you think John Mess, he screams about whatever he wants. So I feel like he has a level of peace, if anything. So, but
Absolutely.
I do agree, though. I love, sort of the melodicness of Circa and what they do. And I think Anthony Green is, obviously one of the best vocalists in our scene, with hands down. But
Yeah.
they're one of those bands that I've always been a fan of, and I hope that they continue to do cool stuff. And I can definitely pick that sort of Circa Survive vibe from what you do. Oh man, we're cutting out again.
Sounds like you were saying you hear the Circa in my music, which is awesome, and thank you for saying that because
Yeah,
they are a giant inspiration.
definitely, definitely. Well, my
Their
next
music
question.
sounds like oh, sorry, I was saying like their music sounds very like heavenly in a way, like
Yeah,
other dimensional to me, uh, and that feeling just struck me as like very powerful. They have like very powerful organization. Uh, so yeah, I try to emulate that.
I feel like you do it real well. Like it's hard to kind of like find that sort of circa vibe with a lot of different bands. Not to say that they don't do them justice either, but it's it's a cool kind of like you said, it's a cool kind of concept that they've kind of included throughout what they do. So
Mhm.
it's cool to see that still being around, and that obviously that they're affecting people still with their music. So that's really cool. But my next question, Scott, getting into some fun ones. If you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Uh, I think I want to cover some like oldies. I would like to cover an
Okay.
Amy Winehouse song or something.
Okay.
Not that
Any in particular? Any Amy Winehouse tracks in particular?
all of them. I want to
All of them.
do my next thing that I'm doing is an Amy Winehouse album,
Oh,
just a
tight.
tribute. Yeah.
I
No,
feel
I'm
like
not.
you could be. Hey, listen, you can make them unique. I'd be all about it. I feel like, again, she was obviously a great vocalist, and before her time, certainly. So I'd love to hear that. I feel like if people are watching this, you should definitely go scream at Luke to tell him to do it. So awesome,
Cool.
awesome. So my next question, Scott, another fun one. Um, Favorite food to eat? Gotta ask that one.
Pizza.
Pizza. That's the.
Pizza.
I feel like that is everybody. If you live on the East Coast, that's like a go-to to answer for sure. Um,
It's reliable. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's reliable.
It is. It's
Taste
what.
it
It's
all the
the
time.
it's the go-to. It's the go-to. I like it. I like it. Our next
Side of
question.
mozzarella stick.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
sorry.
No, fish. Fish.
Just a side of mozzarella sticks. You know what I mean?
Definitely. 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 My next question, Scott. Since you do play a lot of instruments, I'm curious what you're gonna pick. But if there was another musical instrument that you could be super good at, what would it be?
Uh, I would like to be better at guitar, but I would really like to be really good at piano. I think that'd
Oh,
be,
okay.
and then I could do like drums and piano, and then I could get into the Amy Winehouse stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, listen, it's all circling back to Amy Winehouse. I feel like that's all
I'm
roads.
like where Circa Survive meets Amy Winehouse. I feel like.
I'm about that. I'm totally about all of that. Definitely, again, was really surprised with this sort of Amy Winehouse pick.
I don't know if I even really feel that way. So,
Awesome, awesome.
yeah. Video games. The only video game that I really played ever in my life was Unreal Tournament 2004.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
that's a classic though.
it is. So I'd probably be like uh, Romulus out of that, I think was the character
Yes,
that
I think you're right. We'll
It's
just
a
make
good
that.
game.
We'll just make that your photo
Please,
for the masses.
please do that.
All right, Scott. My next question is kind of back into the more music related stuff. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show in terms of bands that you've seen?
The Chariot puts on a really great. Well, they don't anymore, but they are one of the best live bands I've ever seen. And
I would second that for sure. But continue,
yeah,
Scott.
and then obviously Circa Survive, my favorite band ever. Lighting was really good. I was lucky enough to see them in Pennsylvania,
Oh, tight.
and
Okay.
yeah, and Body Thief puts on a fantastic show. Everybody should go see that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really listen to any other music than that.
Well, the Chariot I had caught maybe like once or twice, before they obviously disbanded. But I have to give them props. They're absolutely nuts. Circa, I can attest to them being awesome too, which is nuts because I've told this story on the channel before, but the Circa Thrice tour is the only one that I can remember. I mean, I probably had seen them before that, but for some reason maybe I like wasn't really paying attention. But like that night when I saw them, I was like blown away. Their Anthony Green and just the band in general was awesome. Um, they actually had like a string, a little bit of, like a small string quartet, and they played like Frozen Creek with some violin and stuff like that and some cello, and I was all about that. So
Nice.
I can attest to Circa being a great band live. But my next question is, and I haven't seen Body Thief, so I figured I'd follow that up too. They have to come to New Jersey or Philly or whatever, and hopefully soon because I would love to see them live. But
Yeah.
getting back to more of the fun stuff, Scott, if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on the lineup?
Uh, I'd really like to play some music with Bach, and obviously, like maybe some other medieval type of people. You know what I
Interesting.
mean? And have like a weird Renaissance fair tour.
That's this is a first. This is a first for the channel. I don't think I've ever mentioned somebody, or I have never had somebody mention that they wanted to tour with like medieval, like classical
They don't
bands.
even have to be musicians.
Just like your standard medieval fare of musicians, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I could be the only one playing music.
There
But
you go.
on a serious note, yeah, who would I just want to drum for Circa. I think
Hey,
that I'd be happy doing that.
I think anybody would be happy doing that. That sounds just like I don't even play drums, and if I could play them well enough to play a circus song, then I'd be about it.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, kind of a way around it, Scott, but I'll give it to you because I felt like the medieval answer was just that out off the wall that I had to give it to you. But
Well, okay, let me do better than that.
you don't
Uh,
have to. You already topped yourself off, in my opinion. So
well, I mean, mean, I would want to work with Zan Hawkins. I would want to work with Josh from The Chariot, and I would want to work with like Anthony and Colin from Circa. That's my real dream team.
That's your dream team. I'm about it.
Yeah,
That sounds like a phenomenal team you got going on there.
we could get so much great stuff done.
I know you can have that like real heaviness of the Chariot and all that stuff, and then you have all that like cool melodicness of like Circus Survive.
Yeah, how would Josh even fit in?
I
It
don't
just seems,
know. Well, that's for you to find out and for me to witness.
yeah, cool.
Awesome. Next question, Scott. Getting back into some more fun questions. Favorite TV show, favorite movie.
8 Mile is like
Oh,
my favorite movie.
okay, okay. I'm feeling that.
No, it's not.
Oh damn!
Uh,
You had me believe in you. I couldn't even see you, so I feel like I had that belief in you that that was your answer, and then you kind of took that away from me. So I'm a little distraught, but I'll go
no,
with it.
that's my like answer that I always say, but I don't know. I don't know what my favorite movie is. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Is there a
I
movie you
really
like currently that was good?
like Meet the Parents was a good movie.
Wow. All right, we're really turning back the clocks here.
Yeah, I don't really I don't really pay attention to that, I guess.
That's okay though. That's you know what. There's some people that do, and you happen to be an outlier. So it's okay though. We'll move
Yeah.
on. We'll pick up
TV show
everything.
though, I like Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. That's a pretty new show, but
Okay,
it's interesting. Not my favorite, but it's interesting. And
sounds interesting.
yeah, and that '70s show is a good
Oh,
one.
that's a classic though. I'm about that.
Yeah.
You redeemed yourself, Sky. I appreciate
Yeah.
that you shattered the glass and then you came back and you picked it all up. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that metaphor. That was like probably
I
one of the worst
swept it
metaphors I've
away.
ever done. But we're gonna move on
Yeah, it
from
was good.
that abomination to my
That was
next
a good
question.
metaphor.
Was it? Oh, I appreciate it. I feel like you're doing that because we're like talking about it, and like you're on the internet. So if you're just gonna, you know, brag on me about it, you could have, and I would have been
No,
totally okay with it.
dude, I
Uh,
like that metaphor.
well, I appreciate it, Scott, immensely. My next question, though, is if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album that you could bring with you, what would it be?
On letting go, man. And if I can bring the instrumentals with me, that's even better.
There you
No
go.
offense.
I'm about it. So, I figured we're talking about Circa a lot, and I usually I
Are we?
love getting off the beaten path just a little bit. Um, but if you had to like rank all of the Circa records, how would you do it? Because you sound like the person that's like a real like diehard Circa Survive fan. You've
Well,
heard
I am their number one
everything.
fan.
Ooh, okay.
So
That's a high order, a high task.
yeah,
And
but
it's
I
on
can
the
live up.
internet for forever. So like you're gonna have to battle with other people that are
Dude,
number one Circa
I
fans.
got my sword right here. But I would rank it on letting go is probably my personal favorite.
Okay.
Um
Well, that's what I'm asking
and
you is what if you had a list of like you have a list of all the Circa records.
subjective.
What would be your personal one through I don't know how many records they've done, but just how what would be the rankings, the Scott rankings of Circa Survive records?
All right, well, I think that the first two have their own uh I have my own attachment to the first two. So it would be on letting go, Juturna, but then it would be the amulet
Hmm.
and,
Okay. Okay.
and I don't know after that maybe like Violent Waves, Blue Sky Noise. And I didn't really listen to Dissensus. I'm ashamed. I mean, I'm not ashamed, but yeah,
I had to
I
put
never really like listened to it.
I had to put you on the spot a little bit because I feel like for me like I'm surprised you put Blue Sky Noise so low on the rankings. You know, I understand like Juturna and like On Letting Go because I feel like those are like you know emo classics. Um, but man, that's weird. That I'm okay with that because it's not my list, but like that's
Wait,
objectively
so you broke
interesting.
up a little bit. What did you say? I lost everything that you
Oh,
just
did
said.
you? Oh, okay. So what I said was I thought it was interesting that you kept Blue Sky Noise like kind of like lower on the totem pole.
That's just because of my my days in high school, I guess. Toward the end of high school and after high school, I was like pretty wild at times, and I developed this like really crazy emotional attachment to the first two. Um,
I mean, they're great, both great records. So like, I'm not hating on your choice because it's not like I said, it's not my list of Circa records and how I would rank them. But
what would you rank them?
so I'm also gonna preface this with I like Circa Survive. However, I'm not their number one fan. I know, spoiler alert.
Of course, you're
Um,
not, because I mean,
because you are. So, um, but if I had to rank them off of what I've listened to. Um, I feel like Dissensus I didn't really give a lot of listen to, so I gotta not throw it at the end, but like I feel like I don't have a well of knowledge about that record. But if I had to go from one to like I said, however many records they've done, I'd probably go. Oh man, I'd probably either go. I love Blue Sky Noise because like again, I feel like that was one of my all-time favorite Circa records. So I probably put that like either at number one or number two.
mhm.
Um, I feel like I feel like I don't know. Juturna is really good, so I would probably put Juturna on letting no Juturna, Blue Sky Noise on letting go. I would then put from what I remember, I thought Dissensus was actually pretty decent, even though it was a little bit heavier. If I can remember correctly. So I thought that was good. Violent Waves, I wasn't really a fan of. And their newest record, I still, again, I've had that, that's been out for a little bit of time. So the last three, I feel like, are like in my gray area of like, I didn't listen to a lot. The Amulet, probably out of those three, I listened to the most, and it wasn't too much. So I would say it's kind of like a toss up between those last three as to how I would rank them. Like on any given day, I could swap any of them out for like four, five, six.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's a
that
good list.
well, thank you. I appreciate it. That one's the tough one. I think Circa like again. I feel like they've had really good stuff over the years, and it's cool to see their progression as a band, and hopefully they can kind of pull vibes from like older stuff because I feel like they were just the teeniest bit heavier for some reason. So, um,
Hmm.
but lastly, Scott, the most important thing, tell them about your band, where they can find you at on social media, and anything coming up in the next couple months.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some like drum playthroughs and
Tight.
some live videos that'll be coming out soon. But I'm writing a bunch of new stuff, so a whole nother release is coming. But you can find my stuff on Spotify and iTunes, and most importantly, talkingmanna.com, because there's music on that website that is not on Spotify yet.
There you go.
And
Awesome.
Instagram, yeah.
Well, definitely go check out Talking Manna. Shout outs to Body Thief because this whole thing's facilitated. So they are a wonderful band that you should definitely go check out. But you should definitely go check out this band, Talking Manna. Links will be in the description where you can find out about Scott's band when he's going to be doing touring stuff or playing shows in general. All that stuff I would assume is on his website, so go give him a follow. Go check out his stuff. Go check out the songs that aren't on Spotify that are on his website. I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this interview, like, share, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what your favorite Circus Survive record is, so I can critique all of you, and
Yeah.
that would be interesting. And lastly, thank you to Scott of Talking Manna for coming on.
Wait, hold on. We can't end there. You broke up again. Can
Did
you
I-
just
So,
can you say that last sentence again?
so lastly, I would love to thank the lovely Scott for dealing with all this bullshit. And please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go do all of the things, because I can't tell you how fun and cool this was for him coming on.
Dude, thank you so much. It was great meeting you, and thank you very much for having me on.
Oh my god. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, of course. If you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.